Bukayo Saka has some bad news that's going to be delivered to the fans of Arsenal, and it's an injury of Bukayo Saka, and we don't know for how long this is going to live on, but we've been told by two credible sources, that is the Daily Mail, Samemik Bo, and the Daily Express, that there is something happening on Bukayo Saka's injury. And welcome to Rokani Media Football. This is the Arsenal News Show, and we're here to bring you the latest news and information as far as all these stories are really concerned. And we're here to discuss lots of things concerning Bukayo Saka. Arsene Wenger is going to head to hail Mikel Arteta for the good business being done, and why he thinks Arsenal should obviously find a way to obviously win this trophy. And lastly, Jakub Kiwior coming in the mix, telling us how patient he is for his opportunity to play at Arsenal. Let's see close to 3 or 400 likes on this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we need to hit 18,000 subscribers before the end of this month, and I know we are going to hit that milestone because the fans of this channel keep on increasing day in, day out. And we thank God for the gift of life. It's a Thursday, and for everyone that is watching in, may the Almighty God bless you abundantly. If at all you are Muslim, may Allah give you the best that you deserve. Now today, we've just woken up on a story concerning the injury of Bukayo Saka, and the story has gone on to read that Mail Sport understands that Bukayo Saka continues to be nagged by an Achilles problem that dogged him last season. So this is Samemik Bo coming in from the Daily Mail, and he is really a credible journalist, tier 1 journalist, dropping that huge story about Bukayo Saka and this injury going ahead to nag the player. Now we got another elaboration coming in from the Express Sport that Arsenal star Bukayo Saka has reportedly been playing through a nagging injury since last season. It has been claimed the winger was a substitute for the England 3-1 win over Scotland on Tuesday, and the reason why his minutes were managed has emerged. And they went ahead and obviously told us that the Arsenal Academy graduate was also taken off late in England's 1-1 draw with Ukraine. It has now emerged why Southgate carefully managed the player's game time during the international break. Now, I'm going to come here to give you two sides. You know, I'm having two sides. One side of positivity and one side of negativity. Let's start about the injury. And now, if Bukayo Saka is playing through with an injury for almost 2 seasons now, why isn't he going to surgery? You know, I understand players have gone ahead to play through injuries, but they later admit and go to surgery. Look at Emile Smith-Rowe's career. You know, the moment he forced it throughout this summer of last season and said that he's going to force to play with a calf injury throughout the preseason, you saw what happened. He missed out on the World Cup. He missed out close to 5-6 months of no game time at Arsenal, and see where he is. He has gone ahead to drop off, meaning that if he had earlier on went ahead to decide that I should get my surgery after the season around May, and see to it that for the month of May, June, July, I find myself in a better position to obviously do the needful for myself by being fit, he wouldn't have gone ahead to miss out on the season, because he would have gone ahead to catch up on the season at its beginning. That is it. But he decided to stay with that injury, and you know what happened. Till now, he's struggling to get into the starting 11 of Arsenal. Now, Bukayo Saka for the second season, I've been hearing this story of the Achilles injury, and he is forcing himself on the field of play. And Mikel Arteta should obviously try to advise this man to obviously go and undergo a surgery, because if Saka had undergone surgery after the season of 2020-2023, because Arsenal's season ended on 28th of May, the Achilles injury doesn't really take long to keep out a player. He would have rested for June, July, and August, 3 months, and by September, Saka would have been back playing the game of football. It happened to Marcus Rashford, by the way. I'm giving you these examples because I know how this injury might affect the talent of Bukayo Saka in the coming years. You know, right now when you're still young, your body can hold it, but when Saka hits 26, 27 years of age, he might turn out into an injury-prone player, something that wouldn't have gone ahead to be if at all he accepted to undergo surgery for that Achilles injury. And I was telling you about Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford had a back injury and an ankle injury, you know. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer forced him on the field of play very many times. He forced him on the field of play very, very many times. And do you know what happened? Marcus Rashford started to become injury prone. Not until he accepted that I need to undergo a surgery, get the required rest, to see to it that I really heal this back. And obviously that's what happened, and that's why you see to it that he's no longer an injury prone player. Even when he goes off the pitch injured, it doesn't take him a lot of time to recover and returns back in a nick of time. That is all about Marcus Rashford. So for me, for Bukayo Saka, I would advise him to really undergo a surgery. You know, let him force it out through the season, because Arsenal is in the Champions League. You never know, it might be one of those huge seasons for Bukayo Saka that could see him lifting a Champions League for Arsenal or win a Premier League for Arsenal. All else, try to even win the Euros with the England national team. So I just prefer to it that if I told Bukayo Saka ends this season, let him accept to undergo a surgery that will keep him out for 2-3 months, and he'll return and obviously save his career. But the more he continues to obviously be on that field of play and forces it through, it's not going to give him the best result that he deserves as a player, because it's just going to worsen and worsen and worsen and worsen. That is it. It's going to worsen more and more and more and more for his side. So to me, my advice to Saka is simple. Let him accept to undergo the surgery, and the surgery will help him go onwards. And secondly, have you noticed that every time Bukayo Saka doesn't perform well, that's when this story comes in through? Even last season, when he spent very many games without scoring, this season of a nagging Achilles injury really came in through. Now, why is it that when he played against Manchester United badly, and he played against Ukraine, not scoring a goal, played against Scotland, not scoring a goal, this story is being put out? It looks like there is some PR being played to obviously not downplay the favor of Bukayo Saka in the people, and obviously try to defend his poor performances. I want this story to be brought out when Saka is scoring goals, because every time he's scoring goals, such stories don't come out. They only surface when Bukayo Saka really faces what we call poor games in there for you. So I really believe that it's high time we obviously got a better solution for Bukayo Saka and the team of Arsenal, and I think Mikel Arteta should really advise this player to obviously undergo a surgery such that he heals. And everyone who is obviously telling him that don't do the surgery is ill advising him. And let me give him a success story of a player that the world is seeing as the god in this game. Cristiano Ronaldo, in the season of 2007, 2008, he had scored very many goals, and United was performing very well. So, because the season was really going well for him, the board of United decided to obviously try to play him injured and playing him on injections. And they really said he'll undergo his surgery after the season. And it went very well for him. He won the Champions League, he won the Premier League, and he went ahead to win the Ballon d'Or. Now, for Saka, let this be the last season Saka is playing with an injury. That is it. After the Euros, may Saka undergo a surgery. I don't know what you guys' your thoughts are, because the team of Arsenal right now can obviously play some good games without Bukayo Saka. That is known. It's known all over the world, and Saka is yet to obviously be gotten a backup. And sometimes obviously blame Mikel Arteta for this. Why doesn't he get a backup for Bukayo Saka, such that if at all he's injured, and you know he's injured, you don't really play him 90 minutes every game? Because I rarely see Bukayo Saka being taken off the field of play. Yet the fully fit players like Martin Odegaard are obviously taken off. So I really understand that Saka wants to be on the field of play, but he needs to be managed better and better and better. So that is it coming in from Bukayo Saka, and we pray to it that he really gets a surgery, because that's what will keep him safe from this. Now, Arsene Wenger has gone ahead to have his say onto the Arsenal signings, and he said, I felt Arsenal invested serious money in the last 4 years. They invested a lot of money, but I must say they invested it well. They still have a young team, a talented team. I think they learned from what happened to them last year. So Arsene Wenger is really happy with what Arsenal is really achieving, and that's the difference with these whites. You know, a white can build a dynasty whose fruits he's not going to benefit. Now, for Arsene Wenger, getting money to buy London Conley, building the Emirates Stadium, and everything he did for Arsenal, he has not gone ahead to benefit from it. But one of his players, that is Mikel Arteta, has gone ahead to benefit from this. And Arsenal has gone ahead to obviously make some good signings. You know, ever since Arteta came in through, Gabriel Magalhaes, Benny White, Aaron Ramsdale, you know, Odegaard. Now you look the previous summer, they went in for Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira, who are obviously fitting into the squad very well. And the late developer has been Fabio Vieira. But for Fabio Vieira, his recent games have obviously been great. And you anticipate that he deserves a start in some of the games that Arsenal yet to play. And this season, we've seen Arsenal break a bank to bring in Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Julian Timber, spending close to £200 million. That is Arsenal for you, and they are spending it very well, because it's only Kai Havertz that is really taking long to get into that team of Arsenal. But you also believe that he'll get well with that team, because he's being played in a position that he has not gone ahead to be playing before. Though he has the abilities to play in that position, but he needs to obviously get used to being played into that position. And then he talked about the title race between Arsenal and Man City. This is what Arsene Wenger had to say. They won't cope. They couldn't cope well with that. Mentally, it was very difficult. I'm sure they would have learned from that. Maybe they can take advantage of Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan leaving. We have to deal with the UCL, so that costs points as well. So when you look at Mikel Arteta, he really has a lot on his table, and he has now a bench that can obviously come in through and win him the games. You saw it when they beat us with the team of Man United. The bench of Arsenal made a very huge difference, because the bench of Arsenal had Jesus, Fabio Vieira, and Tomiyasu come off the bench, and United never had any midfielder or defender to obviously match the levels of Lindelof or Lisandro Martinez that really came off through, and Eriksson that really had burnt out. So that means that right now, as it stands, it's all about the bench and Arsenal capitalizing on the injury of Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is returning in December, and I think he is really the most important player for Man City. I know City have gone ahead to really win their first 4 games of the season, but I think in the games they're going to play against Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, even the game they're playing against West Ham tomorrow, it's really going to be so much important to see whether they will thrive throughout of those games, if at all they're not having Kevin De Bruyne. Because when you rewind back last season, most of the games that Man City won when they're playing those big teams were really decided by Kevin De Bruyne. That is it. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But Ilkay Gundogan also leaving, his leadership skills, it's really a very huge miss at Man City. So we'll wait and see how that pans out. Now, let's summarize our video with Jakub Kiwior. Now, Jakub Kiwior has obviously gone ahead and said the following about his stay at Arsenal and lack of enough playing time. He said that we have excellent players at Arsenal. The level of competition is very high, but I'm happy that I'm able to compete with such good players. Even if I'm not selected in the starting lineup, I'm trying my level best. So for Jakub Kiwior, he's really trying his level best at the club of Arsenal, and he is obviously trying to cope up with the rest of the team, because things are obviously not the same always, but you have to fight for your position and time. Remember last season, he was really given some time to play, and he showed out his potential not until in the game of Brighton, when he obviously let in a goal that obviously costed Arsenal that day in there for you. So guys, your thoughts onto Bukayo Saka injury scares are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Arsene Wenger hailing Mikel Arteta for some good business done? And lastly, what do you make about Kiwior? I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. My Muslim friends and subscribers, Barak Lau Fikun. See you when you see me, guys.